Hi everyone. Here we will discuss about different types of threads in Java programming. In Java programming, we are having a daemon thread and non-daemon threads. Non-daemon threads are said to be user-defined threads which are running in the Java programming like a front-end performers to complete the given task, and the daemon threads are said to be background threads which are providing service or help to other threads in the Java program. As per the block diagram, Java virtual machine is having different type of threads. That thread is called main thread, or another term is user defined thread, or another term is non-daemon thread. And another different category is here daemon threads. The daemon threads are created by Java runtime environment to give the assistantship to other threads. For example, in real time, assistants will help to the performers to do the job or complete the task successfully. Once that task is completed, then the performers are not required any help from the assistants. So the help is not required from the assistants. That's why once that job is over, the assistants should leave from that particular office premises. Likewise, here the daemon threads are considered as a secondary threads which are helping to the front end performers, that is user defined threads. Once that a task is completed, then the assistant threads, that means a daemon threads, will be terminated automatically. That means here the secondary threads here will be terminated by the Java runtime environment without considering the completion of the daemon threads job. For here, when it will be terminated, once the execution of all non-daemon threads, that is user defined threads, completed the task, then Java runtime environment will terminate that Java program without bothering the completion of daemon threads, that means background threads. Here the Java runtime environment only will consider the non-daemon threads to complete its task. The daemon threads will be running in the background, so the Java runtime environment will not at all bothering about the completion of non I mean completion of daemon threads, right? So here this will be terminated automatically once all the non-daemon threads are completed the task by terminating the entire Java program. By default, when we are defining the threads, all threads are non-daemon. Suppose if user wants to set that given thread is daemon thread, then he can set any thread as a daemon thread before the starting of the program. The syntax is given here. The public is the keyword return type, and set daemon is the method which is setting that particular thread as a daemon thread. Here boolean, then here we can give true or false. Based upon that, in thread-based multitasking process, one thread, that is user-defined thread, performs any process. For example, here receiving the data from the user based upon the user interface actions, and another thread, you assume that daemon thread will perform its process in the background of the program. For example, when you are entering the data, that data will be stored in the database and also receiving some data from the database. So fetching the data from the database and store the data into the database which are running in the background of the program. So this process is called here daemon thread. And when you are playing the game, the background music will be played in the during the playing of games. So that is also here considered as a daemon thread. And spell checker in the word editor, when you are entering the data in ms word document, the spell checker will do the spelling, check the spelling mistakes, right? So this spell checker will end whenever you are closing the word document. So here this is also called as a daemon thread. For example, here in the animated game, you assume that two players are playing. The player is searching the path to move forward, and also during that time, opponents to be identified. So here this two process will be considered as a non-daemon thread or user-defined thread. And for when you are playing the game, the music, background music will be played as a separate thread, that is called background thread or daemon thread. When you completed that game, that is execution of the main thread. So here these two threads are called main threads, searching path and searching the opponents. Both threads are called main threads or non-daemon threads. Once that non-daemon threads are completed the task, then user will wish to stop the music, okay, or user wants to close the game. So once he wants to close the game, then java runtime environment will not wait for the music thread to finish its execution. That means there will be 5 minutes or 5 seconds or 10 seconds audio clip will be there, that entire clip need not to execute completely. So once he completed the game, then automatically before completing that entire audio clip, then that program or game might be closed by the user. So here the java runtime environment need not to wait for complete that entire sound clip, because which is a daemon thread which is running in the background. Here front end is here non-daemon threads, that non-daemon threads are here searching the path and searching the opponents, which are non-daemon threads or user defined threads. Here the main thread concept is given. The main thread is created once the program is starting the execution, that whenever we are starting the java program, the public static void main, right? So once that main method is executed, automatically the main thread will be created in the java program, and all the child threads are produced from the main thread, right? So once the main thread will be created, then remaining threads will be created in the java program by user defined thread concept. Those threads inside in that threads also we can split that thread into child threads or main threads. Here the main threads will be acting as a parent, and remaining threads are acting as a child threads. Also the main thread is the last thread to finish the execution. Yes, various shutdown actions are performed by this main thread. So suppose if you are creating t1 t2 t3 like this three threads, first these three threads will be terminated or completed the task, then only the main thread will be terminated by the java runtime environment. The main thread can be controlled through the object which is created by using either thread class or runnable interface by obtaining the reference here, right? So this can be controlled by calling the current thread method, which is a public static member of the class thread. The example is given here. User defined class thread ex is created. Then I am creating the t1 by using the class thread, then here I am checking what is the the current thread is running here. I am printing that. So when I am checking that, I am getting the output like this. So thread is created by using the class thread, right? This is the main thread, the right. So the name of the thread is here main thread, and by default the priority of the thread is given as a 5. Then here this one is the group of the thread, either it is a main group or child group. So like that, the group of the thread also will be mentioned whenever we are calling the method thread dot current thread. So here this is giving the name of the main thread and priority value is here 5. And how to obtain the specific thread information, uh, by using the thread current thread method and getting the name of that thread, right? By using this get name method, we can identify the specific information about that particular thread. As usual, I am defining the class by extending the thread class, so which is having the capability to perform the threading operations in multi-threading concept. Then I am creating a driver class, because which is having the main method. Then t1 thread is created by using the user defined class my thread, which is having the capabilities of creating the thread, because which is having the parent class thread. Then I'm setting the name to this thread vit. Then I'm starting the thread here. Once I started the thread, control is passing to this run method, which is running this statement by using the for loop for 3 times. So current thread is having the name vit, right? So it will display. At the same time, thread 2 is created, right? I am displaying the name of that current thread, right, by calling this method. Here for this t2, I am setting the name as andhra pradesh. So here which is running this statement for 3 times. So here which is not using the run method directly, which is printing the values here. So here this one is acting as a main thread, this one is acting as a child thread. Okay, here you see the cpu is idle. So in that time, this thread is getting the cpu initially, right? That thread is here t2. Then t1 is getting the cpu after completion of the t1, right? So just it is displaying this current thread name, right? So first one is here, which is andhra pradesh, and t1 is having the name as a vit, right? So like this, if you want to obtain the thread specific information, you can use the method here current thread running thread and name of that currently running thread here by using the thread class. And we can categorize the given threads as a child thread and main thread. Here the main thread is created automatically when the program is beginning to run. That means when you are executing the public static void main method, immediately the main thread will created by the java runtime environment. Then child thread is created by using the main thread, that is user defined threads also called as a child threads. Suppose if you want to make this user defined threads into main thread, you can make it by manually. For example, I'm creating the class name is child thread, which is implementing runnable interface. Then I am creating the thread t1 by using the class thread. Then here child thread is the class name, which is having the constructor receiving the string name. So that string name is assigned to the variable t1. The t1 is the thread already which is created by using the thread class. Here thread constructor we are using the this, that means current thread. Then for current thread I am assigning the name. This is the constructor belongs to thread class. Then I am starting the method start. Once I am calling this start method, automatically it will call the run method belongs to this class. Okay, here the child thread is the class, so which is available in the program by implementing the runnable interface. Then run method is executing for 3 times. Just it is displaying the value of x and currently running thread and its name. Okay, so here main method is defined inside the child thread itself. Here I'm creating a thread ch, which is calling the constructor, right? So this is object variable. In the object variable, this object variable is created by using the child thread. Child thread is having the capability of thread concept by implementing the runnable interface, so which is also a thread which is carrying the name child. Once it is called, this is executing, and here for this thread which is assigning the name, currently running thread, right, which is assigning the name. Once it is started, then this one is giving you the output. So you look at that here, this is giving you the output as a the child, this one, which is assigned here to this thread t1. T1 is started, then automatically run method is invoked. This is running for 3 times, which is giving you the name of this thread. Name of this thread is passed here as a child. Then this for loop is executing. Here this thread is the main thread which is automatically created once the main method is beginning its execution. So currently running thread name is I'm getting, so currently running thread name is here, which is main thread. Main thread is automatically created by the Java runtime environment based upon this statement. You see, once the Java program is starts the execution, automatically main thread is created, right, and it will run. Okay, whenever the main method is commencing its execution, so automatically main thread is created by once the main method is started its execution, and it will process by the Java runtime environment. So we have seen daemon thread, non-daemon thread. In the non-daemon thread, we are having different types, child threads and main threads. Thanks for watching.